We're like neighbors. I have Carrie from Gig Harbor. Good morning. Hey, Jan, how are you? So keep on coming. So in case you guys are new to the show, just so you know how it works, we're going to be talking. We have our outline. But if you have any questions as we're talking, go ahead and post those comments and questions in the comments section. And we will get to those if we have time. I try to go through them as we're talking, but sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. So we do our best with that part. And if we do have questions that we can't get to, I try to roll them over to a next show, or I'll put them in the show notes, just depending. After the show is all done, I do post our show notes. I post a video replay and also a podcast replay for your listening pleasure on our blog. That usually takes me a day or two, and it'll be there. The Facebook Live will be available, I think, almost as soon as we're done. It takes maybe a couple of minutes to process, and then it's there. So if you're late or if you miss or you have to leave early, that's okay. You know, life must go on, and but we're always here for you in a replay form. Also, I wanted to make sure that you are subscribed to our email list, so that way you don't miss any important news, that kind of thing. So I put in the link for there so that way you guys can subscribe if you aren't already. Hey, Christina, how are you? Hi, Tova Events. Welcome, guys. So yes, just subscribe. That way you don't miss any of the good stuff. We're making Mayesh announcements. We're talking about our lives. We send out all the information. And I also have been getting a lot of questions. Normally I don't say this in this, but since we are talking about shopping and our website and all that fun stuff, I get a lot of questions about, like, you guys, some of you aren't getting our price sheets and things like that, our availability. And to get that, you must be a registered customer. And so I'm going to put the link in there as well for you guys. I have a ton of tabs open today, so I'm a little slow on clicking things. So I just posted a link too, so that way you can register. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But that is how you get on to our price list, because we don't send it out to just anyone. All right, guys? All right. So let me go back to the homepage, and I am going to bring Charity on. Let me put a little prettier homepage on. There we go. Good morning, Charity. How are you?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today.
It was awesome for you to come on with us. I'm so excited. I know you're going to share a lot of good things. And so let's just get started, shall we?
I'd love to.
So we are on the homepage. I know we're going to be talking. We wanted to start off talking about registration, which I just kind of mentioned. But Charity, do you want to talk a little bit more about that part of it?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Yvonne. Thank you for bringing up that question. That's really an important question because that's how we get started. This program is something that I think every one of us here at Mayesh are so passionate about, and that's ultimately the starting point of just going to our main webpage, clicking register, and simply putting in your information. And from there, we will send you a passcode. It's a temporary passcode, and you can go ahead and gain access to all of the wonderful things that our online inventory has to offer, including online pricing, as well as all the different tools that we're anxious to get into for you here today.
Exactly. Perfect. And I know some people, I've heard both ways, you know, like there's a lot of customers that want wholesalers to be good and not just sell to everyone.
Right.
And this is our way to kind of vet everyone and make sure that they are who they say they are. We actually do get people that try to say that they are something that they're not. And so this is our way of just weeding that out and making sure we're working with floral professionals. So we ask for quite a bit of information, but I think it's really great just to get it up front. You know exactly who you are. We just check everything, and then it's an easy process after that. You get emails, and you get connected with people, and it's awesome.
Yep, very good points. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So after registration, you guys get these emails. We talk about all sorts of things, including some of the tools. But I know, Charity, you wanted to mention real quick on the website our locations.
Yes. So everybody here is just really the start of the demo. Once you get the access to have the online inventory, really starting out with the ability to talk about all of our branches. Mayesh is a long-standing business that has done a wonderful job as an industry leader, and we were up to 19 branches in 10 different states prior to COVID-19. Of course, as we all know, we have had to adapt to the new lifestyle and have had to temporarily close some of our locations. But we are so excited to be on the rebound and the rebuild, practicing very healthy and safe ways to go about doing business. So currently, out of our 19 branches, we are open in our LAX branch for shipping. And we also are just now opening up our e-commerce facility in Miami for shipping flowers directly to the customer's doors. So that's what we're going to show you how to use. As I said, I'm very, very passionate about this program, and I have seen several of your comments coming in here on the live video. Anybody out there that knows me knows that Mayesh behind the scenes has really worked hard to bring these tools to you. So if you ever have any questions, once we're all back from the current situation we're in now, always check out all 19 branches, because we do have the ability to follow your events all over the world, wherever you may be going. So thank you, Yvonne, for that.
Yeah.
And it's a great tool to get connected with.
Yep, love it. And so on our locations page too, there's the phone numbers and the managers, so that way you know who to connect with, and store hours once we're back open and all of that good stuff. So we try to keep that as best updated as possible. So check it out when you get a chance. Our next topic that we wanted to cover is our blog. That's something that me and my team work on very hard. We try to post on it at least once a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but we are very consistent about just keeping up with it, making sure all of our good content is up there, so that way it's easy to find. So even if you see something really cool, like a different story or something that we posted on Instagram, if it's good content that we've created, we will be sharing that on our blog as well. So, as you see, we have lots of our mornings with Mayesh. We have this floor industry impacted by COVID-19 article, which real briefly I wanted to mention. I just wanted to thank all of you guys who have read this article, who have shared it. It has gone very far. We've had almost 8,000 views of this article on our website, and in its quality views. People are actually reading it. They're spending like between 4 and 8 minutes on this page. So I just wanted to say thank you, and it just means a ton. So that way we can get this information out into the world, let people know what's going on, how it's impacting the farms, and what that means for our industry as a whole. And so I just think it's so important, and I wanted to thank you. After we posted the article, we posted this video too, and hopefully you saw it. If you didn't, I hope that you check it out. It's up on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, on everything. But it's just a complimentary piece for the article, something very easy to share, that's easy to digest. It's, I think, less than 2 minutes. I think it's like 1 minute and 20 seconds or something. So it's a super short video that really gets the point across. I also got some feedback on this article, just wanting to know, okay, we know this information now, we're sharing it with our people, but what do we do after that, beyond that fact? And so I'll be working on that this week, and just putting some resources together on how to reach out to your local, like your mayor or your state representative, the governor, trying to get this information in front of them, because they're the ones that can make changes to impact our industry. And again, I see a lot of things and topics being talked about in terms of COVID-19 and our economy, but oftentimes the floor industry is left out of that conversation. So we just want to make sure that we're a part of it. So that's my little side tangent there, but it's on the blog, and so I just wanted to get that out there. It's so important. And again, just lots of really cool resources. I put together a florist checklist. It's on the second page, but my first kind of follow-up article was the florist marketing plan, and I'm going to be talking about different social media things and all of that too. So just stay tuned. And again, lots of really good information on here. So that is the blog. The next thing, if you go back to our website, is our education tab. We have a lot of great resources up here. I'll go to the downloads and guides page here in a minute. Obviously, we have our US workshops. We're still planning on those. I have to have a conversation with our team and just make sure, again, that's kind of a fluid thing. Our international workshop was canceled, unfortunately. And we just haven't had time to update that. And then there's a tab for latest videos so that we can see all of our new design videos that have gone up. So again, lots of really great resources here. And I'm just going to click on downloads and guides, which takes us, which I'm already there, our educational downloads page. And Charity, I know this is something that you love. So do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Yvonne. This is a great resource for all of us in Flowerland. I think one of my favorite things about the educational download here is that this is information that you can actually utilize while you're in consultations with brides. These are great tools for you to sell to have as business owners with your sales teams as well. So I'd really recommend for you to spread the love of all this information that we've put out there in the educational downloads. So Yvonne's going to take just a minute to walk us through some of these. First one, Yvonne, I'd love to talk about is the garland guides. How many times do we get questions out there from our customers that are always asking, hey, can you send me a picture of that? The reality is that the garlands are so fresh that we make them on hand to your specific order. So actually having pictures may have been challenging in the past, to where now we've really taken the time and energy to educate our online consumers as well as all of our customers with physical pictures of the flowers. So here you'll see different components and things that, again, if you have a client in a consultation that is asking for an idea of what that's going to look like, you can actually go online with your customer and share these images with them and give them a visual, because currently we are in a visual world. This is our day and age. It's not like what it used to be. And right. So all of the visual tools here, I get so many compliments from everybody across the industry about how Mayesh really puts so much time and energy into our passion for what we do, and technology and all these wonderful things that we're bringing to the table today to you is some of that, the body of work that comes into the ability to really help our customers simplify their process as business owners. So again, the Garland Guide, you can go in and take a look at all the different pictures and all the different components. In the Garland Guide, we don't post actual pricing simply because we'd like for you to continue to keep your relationship with your sales rep. Ask lots of questions, because if you want it this thick around, if you want it this thick around, whatever it is that you want, we can achieve those looks for you, but it's just a matter of having a little bit of communication between. So again, please download those Garland Guides and use them, because it's a helpful tool.
Perfect.
Next one we have is rose guides. We've got this one. This one is one of my favorites. As industry people, we all know, at least we think we know flower availability and different, roses. But I have a unique situation of always sitting in an island atmosphere, meaning that all of our coworkers are always sitting all around of us in kind of like a pod type atmosphere. And you wouldn't believe how many times throughout the day we would ask each other, hey, what's your favorite pink rose? Because you get a little bit of a creative mind block sometimes. So these rose guides, although you may know many varieties, it's a helpful tool to just regenerate some varieties that maybe you might not have thought about. So again, a wonderful tool to use in your consultations with your clients. Because again, price points aren't here, and you guys can share colors, you can share concepts, and of course you can see right there the performance of the rose is also shown in the images to be a helpful tool to simplify your process.
Love it. So pretty.
It is. It goes through all the different colors. Of course, it's not every rose out there, but again, it's there to generate your creative juices and inspire.
Yeah, and I know when our team was working on this guide, we work really closely with purchasing and the different product specialists that really know the product. So while there are, a whole bunch of different varieties, these are the ones that we know that are, perform well and that people love and that we just have really good feedback on. So these are very reliable. Which one do you want to do next, Charity?
I think the large installations, again, this goes back to the conversation of, we as industry people, we kind of know what's long lasting, what's going to do well. Can amaranthus go in these types of installations? But every single time I pop into this download, I'm always like, wait, I didn't think about contorted hazelnut. Wait, I didn't think about Victorian birch, and so this is a great tool to help you guys understand products that can be sustainable, possibly out of water for large scale design. I think Yvonne, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that those images are actually from one of our international workshops.
Yeah, so the cover image is one of my favorite designs I've ever seen, because this was
Got some
probably
real
like
wow factor, doesn't it?
it was like a $50,000 arch that we created in Quito, Ecuador. Is freaking amazing. People were crying over it. It was gorgeous to see in real life. So that's the cover image, and I just wanted to make sure that there's a shout out to Sue McCleary. She's the one that put all of this together, and she's just loves sharing her knowledge with everyone. So she put this together because it came up as a topic at Quito, and she said, "Oh, I have this list. I'll get it out to you guys." And then she sent to us and let us publish it as a guide for you guys. So again, collaborating with really great people on this. And of course, it's a list, but we try to make it beautiful, filled with images. Like this is an image from one of our workshops, and a US workshop. So there's a mix of a little bit of everything, from videos. I see a couple of video images here. And then the orange and yellow images at the bottom are from Quito, Ecuador. So yeah, we have all these beautiful images that we try to fill all of our stuff with now. So it's fun.
Yeah. There's also, and we'll go kind of quickly through here because we really want to encourage people to go in and feel and touch the website on their own as well. But there's care and handling guides in there. I just learned something about care and handling for gardenias. So again, share this with your sales staff and get excited about it, because there's a lot of information in there that can really be helpful. Dahlias, gardenias, all things like that. So
yeah. In this one, we tried to include things that we get questions on a lot or might be a little bit difficult and people don't know how to handle it. And of course, roses, just because it's a huge market. So we just had that in there too. So yeah, check it out. It's a really great educational guide.
Another one in there is the seasonal product availability. Again, we have our flower library that we're going to go through on this for you as well, but this may be something that you might want to even invest a little bit of money in really just putting it into print and having it as a helpful guide on your workspace and your desk area and things like that. Yep. And then of course the Mayesh experience, that is something that you can virtually go through a tour of our company and everything that we have to offer. And so I'd like to just encourage everybody to get in there and feel and touch it. We put a lot of work into it, and I know it's going to simplify your lives when it comes to doing business.
And look who's that. Okay, so real quick, this guy here with Peter and Juan, he was just amazing. He was at our hacienda that we stayed at for our Quito workshop, and he literally was like my favorite man there. So we wanted to make sure he had a spot in our Mayesh experience because he was such a lovely person. So yeah, just very cool. Educational downloads. Okay, so real quick, I have a question from Carol. I'm going to pop up here. She says, like the rose guide, do you offer a more extended flower guide? So I think she posted that before. So we do have the seasonal product availability guide, but then our flower library that we're going to be going over soon, that is the extensive guide that we offer. And it's too, I think it would be too crazy to put it in a PDF, honestly. And it changes a lot and it takes a lot to update that. So our flower library will be your go-to resource for that, Carol. And I feel like I saw something else up here. Let's see. Cost on paper guides. Does that mean you want pricing guides? I'm not sure what that means, John. If you want to put something to explain that a little bit, but it's kind of what Charity mentioned. It's really hard for us to put pricing out there for everyone. One, we want to make sure that the pricing is getting to the right people. We don't want whoever to just Tom and Sally to be able to go onto our website. And also the pricing does fluctuate depending on where you are, and because logistics is such a big part of flowers and the cost of flowers. So it really we have to vet you. We assign you to a location, and then you're able to get pricing. We send out lots of pricing emails for every branch once we are doing that and back up and running to normal procedure. Right now we're sending out like one price list that's for our LAX inventory, and then you can go online online and shop online. But again, you have to register. So that's where you'll be able to get pricing and things. But we don't really have a guide on that. I do have a cool project that I'm going to be working on with Allie. It's just kind of slowed down a little bit because of everything that's happening. But hopefully we pop that back up. And we're going to be creating some kind of pricing, not a guide, I would say, but like more of like, how much would this sell for type of deal. So stay tuned for that because that's going to be really cool. All right, what's next, Charity? Let's see.
Okay, well, let's pop into the meat and potatoes of this. Let's get into that flower library.
Okay, so
flower making, flower library.
Yes, I love it. So while we're going over the flower library, and then also when we pop into the shop box lots, guys, I'm gonna get Charity and I'm gonna remove us, just so you can have a bigger screen. So let's see if I can do that. Right, I think I hit the right thing. It says audio only. I think we're good. Yay! All right, go for it, Charity.
Okay, so everybody, I'd like to, just make sure that you know that there are resources out there for your questions to help navigate this website. So I do want to let everybody know that there is a sales hotline phone number available to you if you have any questions. That phone number is 855-462-9374, and also sales@mayesh.com. We're excited to make sure that we give you a little hand-holding if necessary, because again, this program we believe is really cutting edge in our industry. So without further ado, welcome to our flower library. There are a ton of people behind the scenes really making this this program a great tool for you and all of your abilities to put together flower orders. One of the things that I'd like to do, Yvonne, is really kind of start there at the top where you're able to sort by either the season. You can also sort all the way down to your event date. Now, keep in mind, this is based on Mayesh previous history, being that, we can have things that happen in the world, whether or not it's weather related or whether or not it's industry related. Things can vary just a little bit. So this isn't 100%, but it is based off of our previous year's history. So always keep in mind that when you're searching by your filter, I typically really like, you can see that it does by spring, summer, winter, and fall. To me, I feel like that's a little bit of a too broad of a search. Ideally, I like to go all the way down to the time frame in which I'm looking for certain flowers. So let's assume that our event is June 20th. You simply just move your cursor over to the event date that you have. And what has just happened here is that your flower availability just populated based on the date that you asked the computer search to happen. Every flower that you see that just pulled up in this availability list are products based on our previous history available during that time frame of your event. This is extremely exciting, guys. How many times have we had to, question whether or not peonies are available at a certain time or whether or not Sandersonia is available at a certain time? This is really a powerful tool to help empower you guys and save time. I mean, ultimately, the more time that we have as leaders to go out and look for new business, the more time we have to focus on things. So this is a great shortcut to answer your questions. Always, you can still reach out to your sales reps, but this is an online tool for you guys to use. Yvonne, can we also show our viewers the difference between grid view and list view?
Yep. I love grid view. That's my favorite view.
Yeah. So if you noticed, Yvonne kind of pushed over those two bold black buttons there. One is list view and one is grid view. But to be honest with you, we have found that it can slow your browsers down a little bit. So we do recommend that you go ahead and research in your list view form. And Yvonne, if you go ahead and go back to list view, they can actually click on the photo to create a bigger image in case they wanted to see that image a little bit larger.
Yeah,
and I did want to help speed your browsers up.
Yeah, and I just wanted to also mention that, before when we first launched the website, it was very slow and we were aware of that. But our e-commerce team worked really hard on just working on the code. So the speed level has gone up quite a bit. So you only are waiting like a second or two instead of several seconds. So it's gotten much, much better. They're working hard on that, making that easier for everyone and faster. Because we all know we only have so much time and so much patience in a day. including myself.
Okay, Yvonne, let's dig in a little bit deeper and show them another layer of tool here. So if we stay in our event of June 20th, but we know that our color palette is going to be, to make it simple, let's just select the top 3 on our color wheel. So burgundy, red, and the next color next to it, which I believe is the pink shades. There you go.
Mhm.
Now you'll notice that the entire availability search just changed into the color palettes that you're looking for to help narrow things down. That way you're not looking at the entire availability, you've narrowed it down to your color palette for your event. Another great tool on this is somebody may say to themselves, hey, I'm not really interested in Alstroemeria. I really want to do a search based on the particular flowers I need. The way that you'll do that is just go ahead and click category, and you can select multiple categories there. So if you knew you had a rose, hydrangea, and carnation event, you can simply select those items in the color palette that you want during the date range that you're looking for it, and it'll automatically filter those items for you. The great thing is you can click multiple items in your category search. That is an upgrade for those of you who have been using our website. We just recently upgraded to multiple searches. So you can see there with the selection that we're making happen here, it's showing you all the availability in the color palette and the flowers you asked for. Pretty amazing and cutting edge, huh, guys?
I love it. I love our file library. This was adding the
variety and grade as well, but again, I'm not always a fan of that because it'll narrow your search greatly. So I typically just try to stay in color palettes and categories. Unless you had to have a particular item or a particular rose variety, you can definitely do that. But again, it will narrow your search down a tad bit.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
I'm seeing some excitement come through on that live feed over there, Yvonne.
Yeah, let me look through this. I have to expand my screen, so it's hard for me to look at the comments as I'm going through at the same time. Yeah, Cheryl says this is fabulous. Thank you. Is this going to change? Probably still need to do. And Penny's talking about like kind of what you mentioned. Probably still need to chat with a rep for current price and availability. Can you email me a link to this, please? Yes, let me actually put a link. I have all the links here, and I'll do the flower library link.
So Yvonne, if I can go back to that gal's question as to, do I need to still talk to my rep? What you do here is this is actually linked directly to your sales rep. If you're logged into the program once you sign in, I always recommend going ahead and logging in, because anything that you do in the program is going to directly attach to your sales rep. Meaning if you're logged in and you click create quote, let's use that first line that you have there, carnations. If you wanted a quote on those carnations, you would simply drop down screen whether or not you want bunch, stems, or boxes. You click quote, and this quote generates directly to your sales reps. Again, we are in a new phase of business because of COVID-19. As many of you guys know, unfortunately, all the reps may not be behind the scenes right now. But that does come to our customer service department, in which we will get you some idea of pricing. Again, we don't know all of the pricing answers in the world we're living in today, but we will certainly have the conversations with you to help you be empowered to get back to your customers.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not logged in, it will go directly to our customer service department. We'll reach out to you, but it's always a nice little shortcut to log in. So it is a little bit more of a direct communication.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to add too, I have a great question from Betty that just goes into what you were saying. She says, I have an account, but I usually buy in person in Seattle. I don't have any idea my username and password. Is there a place on emails I receive where I can find that information? And so, Betty, usually what happens is if you were set up to buy online at some point, your username will be your email address. And then if you don't remember your password, you just need to put in your email address and click forgot password. If for some reason you don't get it and you check your junk mail and all that fun stuff, or you get a message that says we don't we don't see that email address, then just shoot Mayesh Market at mayesh.com or sales at mayesh.com an email, so that way we know that you need to be set up. And then that can be done very easily if you're a customer already. We can set you up and get that started for you. Anything you wanted to add, Charity?
Yvonne, I think you said something important there, because a lot of people are going to ask that question. I'm already a Mayesh customer. How do I get connected with this? Can you go ahead and elaborate on that?
Honestly, the easiest way is you can shoot us an email if you're already a customer. If you're for sure a customer and you're already a customer, you can shoot us an email at mayeshmarket@mayesh.com. You can also fill out the registration form again, and they'll see that you're a customer already, and then it'll streamline that as well. Our team that handles all of those incoming forms, that's like the first thing that they check, and if you're already a customer, they can easily sign you up. So again, shoot us an email, mayeshmarket@mayesh.com. They'll get you set up, or fill out the registration form, and then that will get you set up as well.
Thank you, Yvonne. One last thing before we move on from Flower Library is, if you notice there in the name box where it just says search, if you have a client, let's again go back to the date, June 20th, and they want to know if poppies are available during that time. You could simply just type in one word in that name search bar and just type poppy. And if poppies show up, that's going to tell you whether or not they're available during that date range. And so you can see poppies didn't.
Let me reset.
We have preserved poppies and all that good stuff too. So again, that's kind of your short search that you can do if it's just one quick question that you're looking for. And there you go.
Also, so like I cleared out everything, guys. Put in poppy, and then poppy popped up. And so let's say you're looking for Icelandic poppies, and they're pink. So here if you go into the product page, you click on it, you can see the quoting information. You can add it to a wish list as well, which is great. If you add it to your wish list, if it is in our direct box slots, then you'll get a notification anytime it's in inventory. So it's really great for some of your favorite things that comes through our Miami inventory. But the thing that I really wanted to point out is the availability calendar. So it has here by month when they are available. So we have that on every single product that's in our flower library, which again is a newer feature, but it's super useful and really great. There we go. Anything else about flower library that you want to mention before we move on?
No, I think that covers everything. And again, you guys may have questions while you're in there playing around. One of the main things that we like to do on our end is when we do receive a quote, we will most likely reach out to you and say, hey, were you just tinkering around with the website, or is this actually something that you're looking for pricing for? So again, it's always just an open line of communication that we have with our customers. This is just a great starting point to speed the process of all the flower questions you might have out there in Flowerland.
Right. I see a good question here from Penny. She says, are customers of the past considered new customers if they choose to sign back up? To use our website, it was a process to like figure out like who we should set up already and who we shouldn't. So we made sure that we set up people that were actively using the website. We also try to make sure that we set up all of our current customers. I'm sure there were some people that maybe fell through the cracks. So if you hadn't purchased in a while, then yes, it'd just be easier just to kind of re-register, get that set up, so that way we can get you set up to use our online site, and you can start coding and buying online too. I hope that answers your question. I see a question from Janice saying, not sure who our rep is now. Please have rep email us details on how to get set up on website, Piper Pont Place. Janice, we will try and do that. Let me see. I just don't want you to get lost. So if you could actually shoot us an email, probably the easiest one is Charity and Brian's, because it's short. It's sales@mayesh.com, and we'll make sure that we get that information over to you. But right now, because of how everything is happening, and we are working on a skeleton crew, again, sales@mayesh.com is your best point of contact, in addition to our phone number that Charity gave you, but also can be found on our contact page. This 855-462-9374 phone number. So those are our two best places to connect with our active sales reps, just because, like I said, we are really working on a skeleton crew and trying to do our best for you guys while we're going through this crazy crisis with coronavirus. But good question, Janice. Let's see, what else? Carol, I get this question a lot. Carol says, do you offer a gallery of images that we can download and use in the proposals? So, Carol, here is my answer for everyone that asks me and emails me this. For your proposals, because it's like a private, like one-on-one thing, and you're not using it on a website, and you're not using it to promote your own business, you can use those in your proposals as much as you want. But we don't have a download for that. The easiest way would be is to go to our website, find an image that you want. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to click on Agapanthus, and then you click and open it, and then you right click and save an image, and then you can save those images to your computer as you need. So I have no problem with using them in your proposals, but I would have an issue just because we have different copyrights for different images. Some the images we own, some of them we bought. So you just cannot use them for your own like promotional purposes, like on Instagram, social media, and ads, printed things, that kind of thing. But for your proposals, go for it. If it helps you sell and it helps you grow your business, that helps us grow. And so I think it's a win-win all the way around. Good question, Carol. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, let's see.
I think with about 15 minutes left, we will go back into the buying tools, and we'll show you some farm direct box lot pricing.
All right, Mayesh Direct Box Lots.
A lot of you out there that are users know this as Mayesh Market. This is the same program, and this is where, for those of you out there asking what pricing questions are, this is where once you have your login information and you've been approved as a Mayesh customer, you'll be able to log in and see this information. So Yvonne, I'd like to take our family through just a little bit of the bells and whistles of this program. We really tried to make it very user-friendly with 3 clicks or less to finish your transaction. So we hope that you find this very user-friendly. And always, if you have any feedback, please share your feedback with us, because we are constantly evolving and looking to be the best we can be. So again, we recommend you utilizing this page in the list view so you can see everything as in its entirety and speed your programs up. If we scroll up just a little bit, Yvonne, what we're going to see here is we're going to see our cutoff times and our dates. So again, adapting to the new world of doing business, we have had to revamp our program to show the convenience of FedEx deliveries to your doorstep. Once we do get the flower industry back into full motion, we will be able to update our transportation availability here, but currently, again, we are focusing on FedEx to the doorstep delivery. And if you order your flowers, I'm sure there's going to be cutoffs as to what time the cutoff is to get flowers for the next day. If you needed flowers today, if you were interested in this program for flowers, you could go in and order flowers today up till 1 p.m. Eastern and have flowers on your doorstep, assuming there's no unforeseen FedEx delays by tomorrow. So this is very much a lifetime inventory. This is all live product available out of our Miami facility, focusing on South American products. This is not everything that Mayesh carries. Again, it's a hyper focus in South American products. And so you can have a real enjoyment in here in shopping. The inventory is a little bit more on the limited side just because of where we are currently with the floral pipeline of flowers. But we really did a good job in trying to give you guys some diverse inventory in here to play with and get familiar with. So a little bell and whistle here that I learned only a couple of months ago that has really changed my life in the Mayesh Market program is if we just scroll up a tad bit, Yvonne, We'll
Mhm.
see now, we saw the cutoff times. You guys can see the dates in which you guys can receive the flowers. Next thing is sort by. Sort by is a little trick and tip where you can see the third selection down where it says price unit ascending. Watch what happens here when we push this button. What happened was the system automatically sourced all the flowers by the least expensive flower first. So if you want to come into this program and shop based on a budget and you're not really particular about the flower products you need to order, you can simply click the ascending by price, and that's going to pull everything up by the least expensive first. Did everybody follow that okay? Yvonne, do we want to go through that exercise just one more time so everybody could see that?
Sure.
Again, you can also search by the most expensive price first, but I'm not sure who.
We can do it just to have fun. What's the most expensive thing in here right now? Right now it's Dusty Miller.
Keep in mind that all the prices that you do see here include your delivery to doorstep price already built in. So this takes all the guesswork out of things for you, okay? Next thing, Yvonne, let's use a scenario of a customer looking for roses. They have an event next week or they need some roses for their shop. We can simply search by rose there. And let's go ahead and click garden roses too. Our users can click multiple categories. And what that just did is it auto-filtered all of our flowers available in the rose and garden rose category. So if you're not interested in seeing the main inventory, you can short search it by simply clicking on your categories. Okay. Now, Yvonne, let's say we wanted to, we knew that our floral needs next week were roses and garden roses, but we only wanted to see what was available in red, cream, and white. You see what Yvonne's doing there? She's just clicking over the color wheel, and now that auto-filled all of our roses and garden roses based off of a certain color palette. So again, we know how busy our customers are out there in flower land, and if you just want to cut to the chase, you don't want to see the whole inventory, you just want to know what's available, exactly what you need, that's the shortcut to looking up your flowers. Okay. Yvonne, let's maybe go back to the full inventory. So to get back to the full inventory, you guys can simply click reset or unclick your boxes. And what that did is that went ahead and took us back to our main inventory. Okay. Now let's read across here real quick. I want to show you also, I'm seeing carnations up as your first one on your end. It's not the same on my end, but let's read across this first line to help you guys. Oh, I know why. It's because I didn't ascend by price. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the first item on the list is carnations. We're not showing an image simply because it's an assorted box of carnations. Any assorted images will not have a color attached to it. It'll be a simple black and white view on the flower. The next thing that you go over is color assorted. You can see the grade is standard. Next, you can see the farm. If you're farm savvy and you guys are interested in buying from particular farms, you can see that information. Next, you're going to see quantity available. And this is really important because this is a live inventory.
Sorry.
You're not able to purchase more than what we currently have in our inventory. So you can see we have 2 boxes available as soon as we get back to it. We've got 2 boxes available.
There we go.
Okay, there are 200 stems in a case. You can see the price there. Again, that is the price point including delivery to your doorstep. And then you're able to see the price per box. And the way that we're going to go ahead and order this is we can go ahead and type in, let's assume we want 2 boxes. Yvonne, if you can go ahead and put 2 boxes in our cart. And what that does is that automatically depletes from our inventory. So the next customer in there that's shopping is not going to see that inventory because it depletes. One thing that's really important to know while you're in this program shopping, if we go ahead and click our shopping cart that you see there right in the corner, this is a view of your inventory. One very, very important thing here, you guys see that time clock that just started? That time clock is there to help ensure that everybody has a fair opportunity to go in and shop flowers. This is a 30-minute timer that counts down from the moment that you put your first item in the cart. The timer does not start until you put the first item in the cart. So you guys can go in there and have a good time viewing the inventory and looking things over, but when you're ready to commit the order is when that time clock starts. So if you find yourself multitasking and you walk away in the middle of purchasing an order, within 30 minutes, your cart will clear. We found after some trial and error, of course, with everybody being so busy, customers could put 10 items in their cart and be distracted and walk away. And unfortunately, other customers weren't able to view that inventory. So that's why the 30-minute timer does exist. If you find yourself feeling like that's putting a little bit too much pressure on you, I would recommend that you just view the inventory without putting anything in your cart. And then when you're ready to start purchasing, do everything at once. So that way you can hit that 30-minute window. Otherwise, you can keep an eye on the time clock. And if it counts down to about 5 minutes, we recommend that you go ahead and check out completely and start a second order.
Very good.
If we'll go back to that cart real quick, let's show a customer how to remove something from their cart. So if we did a oopsie whoopsie and we ordered this box of flowers and we didn't intend to, it's very simple. You just click remove, and that's going to go ahead and remove that from your shopping cart. Okay, then you can just click continue shopping, and we're back at that inventory. Okay, let's show them the page flip, Yvonne, there right under sort by. You can see all the different pages of inventory available. And you can just simply click and go through the next pages of inventory. I'm always a really big fan of starting every single day reviewing this inventory and looking for the best buys. There are going to be nuggets in here that are based on some really good price points and daily buys that we were able to purchase at farm level. These flowers, again, go through Quito, Ecuador, clearing in Miami, and straight out to our customers. It is case quantities only. So a lot of times we get questions like in the event of, a customer mentioning, hey, I'd love, some cream roses, but I can't buy the full case. We ask you to kind of break down that thought process a little bit into the idea of how much is it going to cost you versus buying 2 bunches compared to a full case of 100 stems. Being that these prices are farm direct pricing, generally you'll find yourself more encouraged to go ahead and purchase the full box, because when you break it down by a price standpoint, you're going to get 4 bunches, sometimes for the price of 2. So again, this is a customer driven program, and we're offering some great value out there for everybody to increase their bottom line, get some great fresh flowers, and have the enjoyment of shopping online. Like it seems like the world is leaning towards every day and more.
Yes, for sure. I do have a question from Penny. She says, can we order event specific, or do we have to, or is there a minimum?
So the minimum, great question. The minimum is 1 box. And that is a full box of the flowers that you can see there. It tells you how many stems are in the case. And you can order for specific events. You can simply do your auto filters based on what those needs are. Again, this is live physical product that generally doesn't go further out than 7 days. So a lot of times we get questions is, hey, I'd like to place my order weeks in advance knowing that everything is secure. In that event, you would want to communicate with your sales rep with what is the best option for you. As we continue to keep opening up the flower pipeline, you guys will start to see this inventory by reviewing it, hopefully on a weekly or daily basis, knowing that staple items are always in there, like your white hydrangeas, your green hydrangeas. One of the things that you can do to sell future events is to utilize things that have flexibility. So if I have an event that is white, but the flowers aren't very specific, you can utilize the Mayesh Market program to go in and just search white flowers and purchase based off of price. If you need roses, instead of saying that you have to have Playa Blanca, you can always say, I just need a mix of cream or white roses. Those types of things are always going to empower you to get the best value out of this program.
Yes, very good. So I do have a question from Steve. He says, does the box lot section ever present the landed cost, or is there a way to estimate freight costs?
Great question, Steve. Currently, it is reflecting the landed in the customer's door cost. That is FedEx to your doorstep. Um, Before COVID-19 and what it has done to transportation and the floral industry, we had lots more options when it came to freight, whether or not you had your own trucks, whether or not it was a branch pickup. So we're going to have to get back to that as we continue to evolve in the current world that we are in. So please continue to keep asking us questions as things start opening up a little bit more, and we'll be able to follow your lead on logistics and what works best for you in your area, if that's the case.
Yeah, I have another question too from Robin. She says, "Do we have to buy by the box?" Which I think is good, and we have a good answer to that. You want to take that, Charity?
Yeah, absolutely, Robin. We do encourage you to buy from the box in this program. Mayesh offers many other buying programs that you can do just one bunch of several items to create your custom order. But this is a farm direct price point, and it is encouraged to sell by the case quantity only.
Very good. All right. What else do you want to talk about, Charity?
Let's go over product planner real quick. I know we're starting to run out of time. We can kind of buzz through this pretty quickly. Product planner is in the buying tools, and it's a program that I believe is really kind of cool. I think everybody out there has their own way about going into proposals and their process, whether or not they use an Excel spreadsheet, whether or not they use Curate or another program. I do know a lot of those programs are, Yvonne, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's a monthly subscription fee in order to use those programs. But as a Mayesh customer, this is free to you. So you can go in and create your proposals here in the product planner. And I'm going to let you guys, since we're running a little bit out of time, I'm going to let you play around in this program a little bit on your own, but it's a great way to put in your specific event needs, whether or not it's the bouquets, centerpieces. You could add notes. You can start to put in flowers, and what that does is that creates a menu. That menu then is emailed to your sales rep attached to your account, and we can send you back pricing. But the great thing about this, and I'll show you in closing this program, is when you're signed in and you're logged into the program, any activity that you do on Mayesh.com is going to be something that you can access at a later date. So if you're in this program creating this actual product planner to help encourage your designers, let's assume you have an event and you've placed this order after you've done your product planner, you can simply go to your account history, print it out on the day that you know that you're receiving all your flowers, and literally paste it across all the design tables so that everybody can follow your recipe very easily. And I know I kind of went through this quickly. I'm just wanting to be respectful of the time that we have here with you guys today. And again, want to encourage you to kind of get in there and play around a little bit yourself. But Yvonne, if you can go up into the Mayesh history to kind of show everybody the additional things that we've been working so hard on is the ability to be able to access 5 years of your invoices, credit history, and all that good stuff. So the way you access that is, Yvonne, can we show them there at the top again, where you go, you just hover over, once you're logged in, you hover over your login name there. And if you see here on this drop-down bar, you can access 5 years of your Mayesh invoices, whether or not it's from your local branches or if it's the Mayesh Market Case Quantity invoices. Every transaction that you do, every order that you place, anything that you do with Mayesh will be in this invoice history section of your account. The next thing below that, we get this question a lot, you know, did my rep process my credit? Hey, where's my credit? Invoice credit history we added to the website as well. So if you're asking yourself a question as to whether or not a credit was applied to your account, you can simply click here and have all of the credit history right in your login.
Right. And I just want to mention, like, the invoice history, the credit history, those types of things are all on the same page technically. So, and then there's just different tabs on your account. So like if you just go to your account too, you scroll down and you'll see the different tabs that you can get to very easily, and including your quotes and product planner quotes that you've sent in as well, and your wish list.
Now your wish list is really cool. We didn't go over that in the walkthrough on the case quantities, but there's actually a section in the wish list that you can, assuming that you loved a particular flower in there, if you click that and you click it, add to your wish list, if that becomes one of your favorite flowers, every single time, if you click that add to wish list, every single time that particular flower becomes available in the inventory, you're going to receive an email notifying you that that flower is available on the box lot program.
Yep. It's awesome. I love the wish list part. I think that's awesome, especially if there's like really like hard to get roses, like very popular varieties. If you want to be like the first one to know when they're there, anything that's like really hot, then it's a great way to make sure that you are on top of that. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Charity?
No, I think I'd like to just close out this session with thanking everybody so much for sharing our floral passion with us. This is what we do, and we put a lot of time and energy behind it, and we wouldn't be where we are with this without our customers going in and taking advantage of these wonderful programs available to them. And I every day think I want to scream from the hilltops telling everybody about this program and how beneficial it could be to your business. So thank you for spending the afternoon with us. I certainly appreciate sharing my passion with you guys. So thank you.
Yeah. And Charity, before we go, do you have time to keep on going? Because I know there are people that want a little bit more information about product planners. So guys, if you want to stay on with us, we can go over some more of the details. I'll make sure I edit out like the beginning too and make this replay shorter. But that way it's here for you guys if you want. And we can answer some of the questions as well that are here. So if you have time, then we can do it.
Yeah, and please, everybody, go out there and that's our mission, right, Yvonne? Everybody's got a little extra time on their hands right now. So
exactly.
This is a great time and where we are to have this program, because it's hopefully you're going to have a little bit of downtime to really familiarize yourself with this. So it's the positive during all the negative we're all experiencing. So
yeah, exactly. Going from mornings to lunch with Mayesh, we're turning it into. No big deal. So when Charity was talking about the product planner, I did like put in like quick things while she was talking, so I can kind of redo that. She did mention that, you know, there are programs out there that do this as well. But I just want to make sure there's a distinction. Like we love Curate, we work with them a ton. There's other options out there as well. We have a comparison guide. I think it's called the Florist. Hold on, let me find it so I can put a link to it. Florist app. And so we just have there it is, Florist app comparison. So we will put that out there for you guys. Oh, this one is my first one. We have like an updated one. I need to find the updated one, but we'll put that out for you. Once I find, here it is. There we go. Sorry, it takes me a few minutes. So there's that. So the difference between obviously ours and what they're offering is they're offering more like a comprehensive package in terms of like different features. So Curate, for example, you can take this and turn it into proposals. And then there's a CRM that you can put forms on your website, and they have add-ons for accounting and things like that. So it's more of like a business type of thing. But this is, we get a lot of questions saying, hey, I have this event. I'm not sure how many stems I need. So this is just a great tool to build recipes and send those in for a quote, and it tallies everything up for you. So again, it's just a really good tool. I think it's a good starter if you haven't started using any of these other things, just to see if it's helpful for you or not. But definitely a great way of getting rid of all those spreadsheets that you have to help you figure this out. Charity, do you want to run through anything in particular?
I see a question here that I'm seeing come up a few times online is, could you address using these tools a little bit more in depth in a later episode? And the answer to that is we are here as professionals to hold your hand through the process. The most important thing is we want you to walk away feeling empowered. So again, reach out to our hotline phone numbers or email addresses to get a one-on-one walkthrough where we can answer all your questions and be sure that you're getting the attention you need to feel like you walked away fully understanding everything that you needed to.
Exactly. So for the product planner, you just name it. You put whatever date you're looking for, right? I'm just going to pick September. You can put any comments in there that you want your sales rep to know or you want you to remember. And then you build out each of your products. So, and we give examples. So just in case you're not sure where to start, and we'll do bridal bouquet and we'll say 1, and then you can put notes there. And then you can, so in the flower search, you can put whatever you want. And we have a list there so that way it will kind of autofill for you. So you can say rose shimmer peach, which I love that rose. Or you can say peach, and then it'll give you a list of peach roses or peach product. And then you put in however many stems you want in your recipe. And then you click this little green guy, you say add to your recipe. It gives you another line. Again, you can click a color or you can just click whatever you want. We'll just say some of that. And then we'll put however many stems you want in your recipe. And then you keep on going. And then you can add or remove an item, but we're going to add another, we'll say centerpieces. Okay. And then we'll say that we want 20 of those. Not that that's a real wedding right now, right? It'd probably be more like 2 tables. All right. And so like you see, I selected peach and then it has all the peach product. I'm going to select some Alstro. I'm going to add to the recipe again. I'm going to put in shimmer, the rose shimmer, and then I'm going to put in more of that foliage that's at the top, just to be consistent so that you guys can see it all added up at the bottom. And we're gonna say that there's 10 of those, and I'm gonna say 20 Alstro, and I'm gonna make 15 of the greens. And so you guys can see, like, go back to the top. For the bridal bouquet, it has how many total stems for that bouquet. If we have a picture, it has a little picture there too. And then you scroll down to the centerpieces, and again, you see the stems and then the total. And then at the bottom, you'll see a total. So how many stems of the acacia foliage, the Alstro, and the roses. And then a total of 912 total stems, which is so cool. So you, again, can build things, you can remove it, just add whatever details you want. And then after you're done with that, you just put in your information. And you can even upload like some inspiration pictures and things like that too for your sales rep if you want them to know a little bit more. Like you created a mood board for your client, so you can select that and then you hit submit, and then that goes to your sales rep. Pretty cool, right? If you don't have a sales rep, because we offer this tool to the public, if you don't have a sales rep, then it goes to our team and we get you connected with someone. And we just need you to get registered if you aren't registered as a Mayesh yet.
Yvonne, one thing on this is that we are working on the update, but have found, of course, that there's a need for customers to go back and forth when creating a product planner after they submit it,
right,
to make edits and changes. At this time, we're not able to make edits and changes, so we recommend that you just communicate to your sales rep that can go in and edit in our point of sale system and send you revised copies. But we do know that's a need for the future.
Yes, very good. And then Steve has a question. He says, when you're building recipes, can you pull items from a list that you've already bought instead of going through a whole inventory? And no, it's not built like that right now, Steve, just because we'd have to look at maybe different options on how you can maybe pare it down a little bit, maybe like based off of like your favorite flowers or something like that. But we don't want to have to narrow down the product selection. Just because you haven't bought it before doesn't mean that you won't necessarily use it in the future. So that's kind of how this was built. But, keep the ideas coming and we'll see what we can do with it. Let's see if I have any other questions. I don't know if it's for this, but Wild Bloom says, this is so awesome. Caitlin says, wow.
It sure is. Hi,
Caitlin. Kate says, this has been very helpful. Thank you for taking the time to run through the specific offerings available to us through Mayesh. You're welcome. Let's see. Betty, we just did the tool a little bit more. Let me know if there's specific questions that you want to answer, and I think that would be great. We'll answer them. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else to the product planner, Charity.
I think we covered it. That was a good little demo you did there. Thank you.
Thank you. I know I'm not the demo queen like you are, but I can hang. And Chad, I think Chad was a guest on last week's Mornings with Mayesh, and he says, will this Farm Direct program be rolled out to other farms in the USA? And Chad, I know, so right now the Mayesh Direct box lots is focused on specific countries that come through Miami. That's just been it was before we used to call it Mayesh Market. Now it's Mayesh Direct box lots. And so we are working on other programs to help buy product online. So that is coming out, and I'm sure we'll be talking to all of our growers once that piece of it is ready to go. But definitely something that's on our radar. We were actually getting ready to roll out some other things right before this hit. So it had to be postponed for a bit. Charity, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that question as well.
No, I think that was answered very gracefully as well. It's always something that we are cutting edge, and our promise to our customers is that we're always going to deliver new things to our industry. So I would know that there's got to be something great around the corner coming up. So exactly. I'm ready for it.
Exactly. Steve has a good question too that I missed when we were talking about the cart. He says, if you delete your entire cart, does your timer reset to 30 minutes? Do you know that, Charity?
No, it doesn't. Once you've activated the 30 minutes, it's going to continue to keep counting down.
Okay, good to know. Let's see. Anything else? Any other questions, guys? Got it. Here we go. Can you print your recipe in PDF file? Do you know that, Charity?
I'm not exactly sure of that answer, to be honest with you.
I feel like what happens is we do send a copy now to customers, because before we weren't. So I think you get an emailed copy of it, but not necessarily a PDF of it, right?
You do get an email copy, and then you also can go into your history and print from there. I just don't know if it's comes out. If it comes out in a PDF file, I'm almost sure that it does, because that's the most user-friendly type of file. But
right,
we'll have to get back to you on that answer.
Yep, we will. Alrighty, I think that's it. Let me see if there's anything else we missed. So we went over the shopping. We went over the buying tools. That includes the shopping, the flower library, the product planner. We did the education. We did the blog. We did the locations. Oh, and real quick, I wanted to mention our footer, because there's other information on our footer that isn't on our top navigation. So we have an FAQ page that you guys can check out. If you want to learn more about Mayesh, we also have that. We have a Lux Blooms program that we talk about a little bit as well. And then just some other customer service types of things, like our claims and credit policy. And we have a little video there. Our customer forms page. If you are, for some reason, registering and you can't figure out where our forms are, we have that. We have a jobs board as well. Once we actually get back up and running and hiring and all that fun stuff. And we also talk about destination events. So Charity talked about it very briefly in the beginning, but we do work with our customers no matter where they are in the world. So again, once this whole issue is over with, our health issues that we're dealing with, and let's say you have a wedding that you're planning in Italy. We've helped customers before source a product, get it out there. But even if it's, more of a local type of thing where you're in the United States and you're traveling to like somewhere where we have another branch, like you are in Los Angeles or New York and you're coming to Miami to do an event there, we can rent space and tables, buckets. We can help get freelance designers and help with trucks and all of that fun stuff. So we have a process for it all, and we can help you no matter where you are in the country. Destination events. And I think that's it on our website. That's all of our fun tool tips and tricks for you all. Any other questions before we wrap this up, guys? Let me look. Another logistics question, Charity, for you. Did I miss it? Are you still using Southwest? You want to answer that?
That is a case by case. Again, in the beginning of the show, Yvonne had mentioned that we are currently on a very limited staff. Previously, before, the answer was yes, 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 but we are now going to have to take those requests on a case by case basis, depending on whether or not we're able to physically get it to the airport for you. So reach out to us, ask your questions, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Very good. Thank you. All right, guys. So, with that said, it's a wrap. That's today's Mornings with Mayesh show. Thank you so much for joining us and spending the last hour and 15-ish minutes with us. Our next show is scheduled for this Thursday with special guest Amanda Allen. She's in Tampa, CC Todd, and Eddie Zaratsian. So I have designers from all over the country. These talented guys are going to be joining the COVID-19 conversation. They're going to be sharing their strategies and experiences through this time so far, as well as what they plan for the future. So it's going to be a great show, and I hope that you can join us. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email, DM Mayesh, or use our contact form on our website. And again, we are in this with you guys. We're going to get through these tough times together. We wish you nothing but health for you and your loved ones. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.